Hi buddies, thank you for giving me your invaluable time. In this part, we will talk about the vulnerabilities of famous interfaces in GTP from GN, GP to S8 and SGI. Then we discuss about vulnerability of IP pool in PGW system. The next slide will show two attacks. First, DOS on network entity, and second, how can we attain subscriber IDs. After this, we illustrate how does an attacker implement TEID brute force attack, and the last slide is about the procedure of getting IMSI from MME system. In this slide, we want to discuss about several famous vulnerabilities on GTP nodes. First vulnerability is abusage of messages transferring through GN, S4, and S10 interfaces. But how? Attacker by man-in-the-middle attack and sniffing the packets through, for example, GN interface between two SGSNs, while subscriber want to hand over from cell 1 to cell 2. Wants to hand over from this between these two cells. He will provide a good situation for implementing man-in-the-middle attack by attacker. Here. This run can be done during transferring packets of subscriber between two MMEs. For example, from cell 4 to cell 3 between two MMEs on line S10. On S10 interface or between SGSN1 to SGW2 on S4. Let me show it. S4 between SGSN to new SGW, or by standing in GRX network. GRX network is here and can be used to fasten first SGSN from this cell to the next GGSN to second network. One SGSN wants to send subscribers packet to next GGSN in another network, can provide a good proper situation circumstances for doing man-in-the-middle attack by attacker and getting TIMSI and IMSI or the other IDs of the subscriber. The second vulnerability is related to the GP interfaces. GP interfaces are located for sending packets from first GGSN to second GGSN in another network. But how can we use it? In this interface, just we should have roaming, not internet packets. In contrary, we should have just internet services and internet packets on SGI or GI in 3G. Here is in 4G. And the fourth one is related to the inputs of each nodes of SGW and PGW. As shown in this picture, just UE have permission to send his packet to SGW, not to PGW. It's forbidden. It is forbidden. And internet services or packets and GRX IPX packets should be sent to PGW, not to SGW. And the next vulnerabilities is TEID guessing. But what is this? Some networks in GTP introduce or provide a TEID with a low entropy can be guessed by attacker, and they don't use the random algorithm, or they want to uh, use some ordinal numbers, and cannot be acceptable for sending critical packets during GTP protocol. And the next one, in this case, attacker can stand here and send his GTP-U packets or GTP-C packets based on TIDs that can be guessed by him, and send it through G and the interface of the GRX and IPX. That was GP, and this is GI, and this is GN. And the other ones is sending GTP-U by invalid TID through the internet interfaces. And the next one can, let me change this color. Attacker can stand on each node of the network and send his packets involved of the GTP-U or GTP-C by invalid TID or the numbers that he guessed, and he wants to check it, is it true or not, and make it make a float of packets to guess the true TID for continuing reliable connection. The eighth vulnerability of GTP protocol is on PGW node by limited IP pool. When attacker stand here in GRX IPX network and send a huge number of create session requests for sending or allocating all the IPs to one of to each creates session which created by PGW, and this pool can be over, and it cannot allocate any other IPs to the other nodes, and that's why this system will encounter serious problem. In this vulnerability, you should monitor a lot of echo requests to the PGW, and we want monitoring these kinds of packets. So you should monitor two kinds of message: echo request and create session request. If these numbers is out of normal, you can guess that these kinds of attacker wants to implement DOS on IP pool. In this session, we want to describe two kinds of attacks on GTP protocol. First of all, how to discover the subscribers' IDs. For doing this or getting the IMSI or TMZ of the ME, you can suppose that you're standing here as an attacker and spoof your IPs by five section or 5 parts of the network that you can stand in it. One as a SGSN, or number 2 as GGSN node, number 3 instead of ME, number 4 SGW, and 5 PGW, and send Two kinds of packets. First of all, if you send echo response to subscriber, obliged him to response or continue the negotiation by sending his IDs in his packet. Or the other packet can be GTPC error response. By receiving these kinds of packet, I think that he sent before some kinds of packet, or now he receives some errors from one of the NEs, and he tries to solve this problem by sending a packet and full of his ID's number. The second attack, you can suppose as an attacker who can stand here and send some packets, a lot of packets to subscriber by his mobile, and makes a crowd of subscribers response, because after ME receiving these kinds of this amount of packets, he will send the related response to the nodes, to different nodes of the network, and it can cause denial of service attack on network NEs. Here we want to discuss about TEID brute force. What is this? Let me start from the beginning. You suppose that you have a mobile set and you want to connect JSON and then send you packets to 3 network: internet, GRX, IPX. GRX IPX is the network to fasten your packet to the next GGSN node into another network for roaming, or internal roaming or external roaming. VPN, extranet, and the others. This network is 3G, but in 4G, just first your S1 MME, your signal control to MME, and your data to SGW, and then to PGW. Then connect to the internet, GRX, IPX, and VPN. And rollback of the response of MME to SGW for giving permission to ME for sending his data in S1U interface and to the internet. Okay, what's the brute force for TEID, and where can be stand attacker in the network? For example, you are an attacker and you want to send your packets to implement brute force on based on TEID. You can stand here, you can stand here, or here, and here, and send your packet through this related interface. But which messages or packets should be sent in high volume of the packets? First, you can send delete PDP context. These packets should be sent. This is a GTPC packet, and it can be sent to PGW node in high volume of network, in high volume of the numbers, for implementing different kinds of TEID and guessing the true ones. And in response, all of these packets that we want to discuss about them will give in response error indication response from PGW or SGW. Okay, what's the another packet can be sent by you as an attacker? Delete session request. That was a context request. Or sending this is this packet can be sent to GGSN. Okay, this one is S8 and GP. Okay, can be sent on GP, and this one can be sent on S8 because the destination is PGW. And third one is create session request on S8. Number 4 can send create PDP context request on GP for sending to GGSN or sending high volume of packets by this kind. Delete PDP context request, but that one is to sending GGSM, but this can be sent on S8 for sending to PGW. Okay, all of them can receive error indication response or nothing. In all these kinds of packets, you can change your TEID to reach the true one. One of the solutions to get valid IMSI of the subscriber, attacker can stand here in, let me cover it, can stand here and send a lot of packets, GTPC packet with this kind, identification request plus GUTI. This number is the number one while a client wants to add to the network. This number can be shown as his ID instead of IMSI. And by sending a lot of identification requests for purpose to hand over among networks or cells, introduce or announce MME that we want to change our cell, and MME tries to sending the response, identification response with valid IMSI to the attacker. But when can be this this be done truly? When we send a valid GUTI, and by this kinds of huge number of packets, we finally find valid IMSI of the subscriber from MME.